So thank you. I'm now going to turn it over to my friend and colleague, Sean Keely. He's here with me. We've just got a handful of folks here. We're outside. We're safely distanced. We're wearing our masks when we're not on camera and on mic. And so Sean has done a fantastic job on a lot of events for FOA. And Sean, a lot of people owe you a debt of gratitude for helping us with this transition to a virtual event. So thanks for everything you've done to lead us up to tonight. And thanks for taking a few minutes to tell our attendees about what's coming up next.
Great. And tonight has been a long time coming, I'll say that. And it's been a windy road, but we're thrilled to be here. You're only going to see a handful of people up in front of you tonight for this live program, but I want everyone to know how much has gone on behind the scenes. We've had volunteers, staff, as David has said, and a particular shout out to our Acadia digital media team, who are summer seasonal positions. They come in, they do photography, they do video, they do an amazing job, and they've been a huge help this year to me and to everyone who's been organizing the event. So thanks to them. And speaking of tech, I want to go through a few housekeeping items. So as we get going here, a few things. So if your broadcast stalls, drops away from your screen, or something happens, go ahead and refresh your browser on your device. And what that'll do is bring you back to a button where you can click Continue to Event, and then you will reload the browser, and you should be right back with us. So keep that in mind. Second, if you're going to bid, if you're going to place a donation, anything like that, which we hope you'll do later in the program, you're going to need to be logged in. So here's the deal. Check out the little round menu icon in the upper right of your screen. You want to click on that if you're not sure if you're logged in. If it says log out, you're logged in. So don't do anything. Okay? You're good if it says logged out. If it says log in, however, you do need to click that. You want to just enter your cell phone, your password, and then you'll be good to go, place bids, donations, and things like that. When we do get to the live auction and the paddle race, just want to give you a little what we're calling pro tips here. This has been kind of fun to develop these. You want to press and hold the amount that's in front of you. If you're on a cell phone, you'll do that with your finger. If you're on a computer, you'll click and hold with your mouse. When you're bidding, what's going to happen is your screen will turn green and say winning if you are the winning bidder momentarily. If you're making a paddle race donation, you click and hold, and then you get a little message that says your donation was successful, it's been put in your shopping cart. So wanted to just cover those things. Finally, if everything's not working, you just can't figure out what you're doing, or it's just not working, go ahead and call our office number. It's 207-288-3340, and we've got a couple of staff working the phones there, and that's a landline, so give it a call, 207-288-3340, and someone will help you out for sure. Okay, so that's kind of the housekeeping, and now, you know, what I've been looking forward to is introducing some friends of mine who stepped up this year to co-chair. As David said, the benefit committee has been amazing around every turn, but really no two individuals have stepped up more than Laura and Vassar Purse, and it's a real joy to work with them. Their commitment, their passion for Acadia itself, attention to detail, flexibility, optimism. I mean, I could go on. These two are wonderful. So I'm so glad they're here, and I just want to welcome to the set. We've got Laura and Vassar here with us.
Sean, and thanks, David. We are honored to be here with you co-chairing the 31st Annual Friends of Acadia Benefit. When we agreed to do this in the fall, we did so for a few reasons. First, we love Friends of Acadia. We love Acadia National Park, and we love this event. We love getting together with our friends under the tent, and we love having one too many of Duffy's mojitos. We love we love bidding generously. We love dressing up, and none of us would have predicted that we'd be in this situation where we'd have to pivot from that and be here for the first ever Friends of Acadia virtual benefit. So fortunately, we're still able to enjoy mojitos. I hope all of you are doing so from the comforts of your home and have one too many. And we're also able to bid generously, and we're just so grateful to all of you for doing that. We're planning to do that as well, and so thank you for pivoting with us, for sticking with us, and for joining us here tonight.
None of this would be possible without the amazing work of the committee. Thank you so much for all of your creative ideas. And beyond that, the energy and the countless Zoom meetings. We've been on Zoom a lot over the last couple of months. I also want to thank everyone who's made a patron contribution, donated an auction item, bid on a silent auction item. I know that you're out there, you've been bidding on top of me with great frequency, or purchase a benefit box leading up to the event. We're so grateful for everything that you've done in the last week. Speaking of the benefit box, Sean, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Credit to our committee for suggesting that we come up with something a little different. The idea here was to bring some of the benefit into people's homes. So we worked with our friends at the Acadia Inn and Havana to come up with a fun little item that some of you have in front of you. Chef Emily Damon at Acadia put together some hors d'oeuvres. There's also a mojito kit. So some of you have the mojito kit, and earlier this week I got to spend a little time with Duffy down at Havana Paria, and we did a demo video. So you'll have to tell us what you think of this. We're going to cut to a video here. It's about 2 to 3 minutes, so check out Duffy doing a demo on his mojito making, and we'll be back shortly to this live broadcast. Enjoy. At Havana Paria in Bar Harbor. Thanks for joining us, Duffy.
Hey, you're welcome.
We're going to do a mojito kit demonstration, and Duffy's been making mojitos at the benefit for many, many years. I've been here for 6 years, but how long have you been doing this?
I think it's been around 20 years. I don't know the exact date. I think it was 2001 and 2002. We started, the last year it was held at Wildwood Stables.
Well, a lot of our benefit attendees remember those days at the Wildwood Stables, so that's great. Well, I know that everyone loves to grab a mojito when they come in at the silent auction. Go around, they place their bids, they see their friends, and it's so festive. This year, obviously, we weren't able to do the in-person event, but we still wanted to find a way to bring the mojito to you. So some of you have benefit boxes that have a mojito kit at home. Some of you don't, but hopefully you'll enjoy this little demo on how to make one of Duffy's signature mojitos.
Okay, so we start with filling the bottom of the glass with mint. Then we'll add a tablespoon of sugar, which is roughly 2 packets. We use about 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, which is roughly half a lime. An instance would be 4 pieces of lime, and you can throw those right in there. And you want to add a little seltzer, a club soda, not very much, and then we muddle it. And you don't really have to tear the mint apart, just get a little essence of the mint in there.
Nice. What if you don't have a muddler?
If you don't have a muddler, you could use the back of a spoon. And if you didn't have that access to a long-handled spoon, you could just shake it a little extra, and that should release enough of the essence of the mint. And then we fill it right up with ice. And then we use roughly 2 ounces of rum. These are a little shy. These are about 1 ounce and 2/3. So we start off with 1. If you decide you want it a little stronger, you can add a little more. Actually, you can adjust any of the limes or the mint, sugar for your taste. And then screw the cover on and give it a good shake. And then take the cover off.
Nice.
Get a straw or drink it right as is.
And we're
Cheers.
ready to go. Wonderful. Sounds good. Well, that was fun. Thanks so much for sharing your tricks with us, and hopefully some of you were able to follow along at home or can replicate this at another time. And from Havana here in Bar Harbor, thanks everyone, and we're going to sign off. Thanks, Duffy.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. All right, so moving forward, We're getting closer to the live auction, I promise. But I do want to take a moment to thank Chilton Trust. And Chilton Trust Company has been with us for 6 years now. They're our lead corporate sponsor, 6 years running, and they've been wonderful to work with. I've really enjoyed getting to know the team. They love Acadia, they love conservation, and so it's been a wonderful partnership, and it's been a tough year, but they stuck with us as our lead sponsor this year. Pepper Anderson is their CEO. She is not here tonight, but certainly wanted to share a few words. So we're going to cut to a short, maybe 30-second video of Pepper, and we'll be back just after that.
Hi, this is Pepper Anderson, President and CEO of Chilton Trust. We at Chilton have supported conservation in general, and Friends of Acadia in particular, for many years. My family and I just returned from our home in Pretty Marsh, a trip I've taken nearly every summer of my life, and one I feared might not happen this year. I suspect everyone watching tonight knows just how restorative the time in Acadia can be. Waking up to the sound of loons, hum of lobster boats, and the smell of pine. My children are the 5th generation of my family to have this experience. Over those years, it's changed a lot. Many more people around the world have discovered Acadia. At the same time, the mountain trails and the carriage roads are better than ever, thanks in good part to Friends of Acadia and all of our support. While we will miss being with you in person tonight, we're with you in spirit and in our continued support for Friends of Acadia. Enjoy the evening.
Well, thank you, Pepper, and thanks to the team at Chilton for being with us for these 6 years as our lead sponsor. Couldn't be happier with that partnership. Moving on, we're getting ever so much closer. So it was mentioned earlier that the silent auction's been open for a week. And it's been a little bit of an experiment, but it's been a lot of fun, actually, to watch all the bidding happening. I want to let folks know that you can bid until 8:30 tonight. That is the closing bell. So we're going to end this broadcast, and you're going to have plenty of time to check out those silent auction items, place your last and best bet. So now moving on to our live auction tonight, we're thrilled to have Lydia Finette joining us all the way from New York City. She hopped in the car and came up to Bar Harbor, so we're so happy she could be here in person. And Lydia is with Christie's and has been a wonderful, wonderful partner in I don't know, 5 or 6 years that we've been working together, running our live auction, running our paddle race. So I couldn't be happier to welcome you, Lydia, to the set tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry that we are not in the crowded Friends of Acadia auction room with everyone talking and drinking incredible amounts of alcohol, but I hope that you are all knee-deep in Duffy's mojitos, so it's going to be a great evening. This is certainly a first for me, not a first virtual auction, but the first time I have ever driven to be at a virtual auction. But I don't know what it is about Maine. I fell in love with it the first time I came, and I've loved it ever since. So thank you for having me again this year. I'm excited to do this auction. I want to promise you that I understand that a live auction virtually is the equivalent of watching paint dry. I will move this along like nothing you've ever seen. So all you need to know is to bid. You just log onto your computer, phone, or iPad. The important part is at the top, if you've not logged on, you click the menu icon, and then you tap, it's on the top right of your screen, and then you just make sure that it says that you are logged in. Because if you need to log in, you have to tap it, and then all of a sudden your name will be ready to go, and all you have to do is hold the button at the bottom until it turns green. I'm going to make this very easy for everyone. Every lot tonight will start at $1,000, and I will take it up by $1,000 increments. I know you might get a Skyline tour with Martha Stewart for $1,000. You might buy a Mercedes for $1,000 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a great night. So drink those mojitos, make 4 more. I want 1 for every lot, and each lot's going to take about 30 seconds. So here we go. Lot number 1, ladies and days in St. John. Look at that gorgeous view. Now, the best part about this is we have an extended period in which you can go. So you can go May to June of this coming year, or you can go October of November of 2020, or October to November of 2021. So take your pick. You can go anytime you'd like to go. It's 5 nights for a couple. We'll stay in the Estate Lindholm. It's the only privately held home within the national park. And it's been organized by the Friends of the National Park. So you are going to be in the best hands possible. In addition to this, you get a half-day boat trip, $250 to buy jewelry, and also $100 to the Lumbongo Rum Bar. What could be better, ladies and gentlemen? Are we all ready to go? I will start the bidding anywhere in the room, and by the room, I mean your living room. Is there anyone who would like to start my bidding this evening at 1,000? Brian is already in at 1,000. Jackie Kelly at 2,000. Laura Katona at 3,000. Brian is back in at 4,000. Every year he bids on the lots. We know how this goes, Brian. And he was on Instagram telling me he was going to bid, so that's always a problem. Laura's back in at 5. Brian is back in at 6. We are at $6,000 for 5 nights in St. John. Everybody is ready to go somewhere, and can you imagine being in a better place than somewhere with turquoise blue waters and white sand beaches, except of course for Maine tonight. Laura's back in at 7. At $7,000 with Laura. What do you say, Brian? I know that you're sitting there thinking about this trip, wishing you were under the tent with me so that I could goad you more, but I'm standing in front of a screen by myself, so you owe me something here, I think. $8,000 and Brian is back in. We are at $8,000. Come on, Laura. I know that you would also love a trip, a wonderful getaway, and we are at $8,000 with Brian. Again, 5 nights, a cocktail party when you arrive, white sand beaches, anything that you want at your fingertips. And we are at $8,000 with Brian. Any advance over $8,000, going once, going twice. Sold to Brian for $8,000. Congratulations, Brian. To St. John you go. Do you hear the applause? This is the applause of 10 people, ladies and gentlemen. This is the easiest auction I've ever taken. I also told them to laugh the entire time, so I had a laugh track, which they didn't do in the first lot, which means that I wasn't being funny. So I'm going to try harder for lot number 2. All right, lot to the Loire Valley we go. Off to France for 10 days. 2 couples or 4 people can go. A beautiful 2-bedroom home with a bilingual house manager, so no one is asking you to learn French this year. You can bike, you can kayak, there are wine villages everywhere, and the beauty of this is you have until 2022 to redeem this. What a world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. So start planning your trip now, and if you can go next year, can you go the year after? So this is the best auction item ever. And again, to France for 10 days, 4 people, and I will start the bidding at only $1,000. The room. It looks like they're coming in hot. Here, Brian's back in at $1,000. He's going to St. John. He's going to France. There are a lot of places that Brian will be going. Annie is in at $2,000. We have a bid at $2,000. I'll take a bid of 3 against. Vassar is in at 3. Laura is in at 4. We're at $4,000 with Laura and Vassar, who appear to be bidding against themselves. So this is a fantastic auction. They're actually the only 2 people here right now. I think this might actually be the best auction I've ever been to. So unfortunately, Jack Keeler has come in at $5,000. He knows that this is not a rigged auction, excuse me. $5,000 with Jack. I'll take a bid of $6,000 next. Brian is back in at $6,000. Brian is in at 6 again. He goes wine tasting, and then he goes to the turquoise waters. What is not to love about Brian? We're at $6,000 in the room with Brian at $6,000. Pamela Harrington coming in. No one saw that coming. $7,000, and I mean no one saw it coming because I can't see anyone. We are at $7,000 with Pamela. Is there any advance over $7,000? Brian is back in at 8 at $8,000. So we have a number of bidders. We are at $8,000 with Brian, not with Pamela, not with Jack, not with Laura and Vassar, and not with Vassar, who was also bidding by himself. All right, Sandra at $9,000 is in. At Sandra at $9,000, a new bidder. Everybody's sort of waiting because they understand that this whole thing's going to be over in about a minute and a half. Sandra is in at $9,000, and everyone's thinking, no, this is already taking too long. I'm trying. Vassar is in at $10,000. Okay, we have one bidder from that family. We are at $10,000 with Vassar. $10,000 for 10 days in France seems like the right call at $10,000, but I will take any other bids because there are plenty of you bidding. At $10,000, and again, if you were busy making your mojitos, making your second mojito, you may not know that this is a 10-day trip and you can go until 2022. Any advance over $10,000. Sandra Uri is in at $11,000. Vassar just threw his mojito across the lawn. I'm kidding. We're at $11,000 with Sandra. What do you say, Vassar? Any advance. It's odd having one person who's bidding in real time and everyone else virtual. With Sandra at $11,000. Going once, twice, and the great news is I know Vassar now has exactly $10,000 burning a hole in his pocket, and we still have two full lots left. Sold to you, Sandra, for $11,000. Congratulations. All right, lot number 3. This is the moment that I know a lot of you have been waiting for, the opportunity to have a Skyline's garden tour with Martha Stewart herself. American businesswoman, lover of all things Maine, Instagram phenomenon. If you're not following her, get on immediately. Martha, if you're watching this, I cannot follow you enough on Instagram. Tour for 12 people at her house in Seal Harbor, designed by Duncan Candler and Edsel Ford. Or for Edsel Ford, excuse me. The gardens are by Jens Jensen. Drinks and refreshments will take place after the tour. And this goes through 2021. Again, ladies and gentlemen, so plenty of time to enjoy this. 12 people. And again, I'll start the bidding at $1,000. Do I have $1,000 anywhere in rooms tonight? Or your kitchen, I don't know where you're bidding from. We do. Lisa's in at 1,000. Brian is back at 2. George is in at 2 as well. That was odd. Jackie's in at 3. Laura and Vassar in at 4. Brian is in at $5,000. Rhett is in at $6,000. Rhett Jones has come in at $6,000 for the first time tonight. Brian is back at 7. St. John, Martha Stewart's house. The man has a good life. We're at $7,000 here. I'll take a bid of $8,000 next. We're at $7,000 with Brian. A tour for 12 people. Jim Green coming in at $8,000. Jim is in at 8. I'll take a bid of $9,000 next. It will be difficult, I'm sure, to find 11 friends after COVID because we probably won't have seen each other for almost 2 years at that point. But I have confidence. I have seen the Friends of Acadia people, and you guys seem to have a lot of friends. So you can pull this together. I think these jokes would be better in a large, crowded room, but I'm just going to keep going. We are having a great time. I have not yet had a mojito, but I would like one. We are at $8,000 with Jim Green, so if someone can line that up, that would be great. Jim Green at $8,000. Any advance, 12 people, garden tour, drinks outside with a gorgeous view of Seal Harbor. Any advance over $8,000. Going once, twice. Oh, Kathy jumped in at $9,000 when I went to pick up the gavel. I'm sorry, Jim. Had I not done that, you would still have this, but here we are. So now Kathy is in at $9,000. Jim is probably taking a second to recalibrate, so I will wait approximately 3 to 5 seconds for Jim to re-enter this. Otherwise, it's going to Kathy and all 11 of her friends. Any advance over $9,000. Going once. Jim said no, Kathy. He said, this is my Skyline tour and I'm taking it. So there you go. So Jim Green now has it at 10, and I will wait approximately 3 seconds for Kathy, who I think was very excited. That's why she waited until the last minute. Now I have a good feeling that something is about to happen, but I'll give you 3 more seconds, Kathy, and then I'm going. Any advance over Jim Green's bid of $10,000. Going once. Going twice. Sold to Jim for $10,000. Congratulations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last lot of the evening, and how don't we all wish we could get in a car and just go somewhere else? All right, except for here, obviously. Lot number 4, a 1972 Mercedes 280 SE45. This is the only year to offer an 8-cylinder car. I've seen this car. It is beautiful, well-maintained. It was garaged throughout its life. It has a satin indoor cover, so it's also super comfortable, but it is so chic, and it is the perfect thing to have, not only for the rest of this summer, but in the summers to come when we can continue to drive in different places. And I will start, that's the real thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's how weird this year is. All right, I will start the bidding. Who wants to buy a Mercedes for $1,000? I'll let you go here. All right. David wants it for $1,000. Jason is in for $2,000. Alexander is in for $3,000. Jackie is in for $4,000. We have a bid at $4,000. Jason is in at $5,000. $5,000 is bid. I will take a bid of $6,000 next, but you guys already knew that. Nina is in at $6,000. Jackie is back at $7,000. I don't know you well, Jackie, but you seem to be the kind of woman who would drive around in a Mercedes with a scarf in her hair. You know what I'm saying? But Jackie, you're going to have to wait because now Elizabeth Milton has just come in at $8,000, and so we are at $8,000 with Elizabeth. I will take a bid of $9,000 next. This is the last lot, ladies and gentlemen. So if those mojitos are starting to hit your legs, now is the time to just start pushing that button. But remember to hold it. We're at $8,000 with Elizabeth Milton. I'll take a bid of $9,000 next. Jackie is back in at $9,000. Elizabeth is back in at $10,000. All right, here we go, Jackie. It's your time to push the button. Elizabeth has it right now at $10,000. I will take a bid of $11,000 next. We are at $10,000. I wish I had had this Mercedes to drive up here instead of the Ford Flex, which I got from the rental car agency. That was not a smooth ride. This will be a smooth ride, and it's also very chic. Jackie's in at $11,000, Elizabeth back at $12,000. At $12,000, I'll take a bit of $13,000 next. We are Bob Bell. Not wearing a scarf in his hair, but very excited about this car. Hello, Bob Bell. At $13,000, Bob is in at $13,000. Jackie and Elizabeth are completely losing it right now because they were going back and forth, and now Bob was in, but now Elizabeth is in at $14,000, and Bob is losing it. $14,000 with Elizabeth. I will take a bit of $15,000 next. We are at $14,000. Last chance. Not a Ford Flex, huge positive. Fabulous car, well maintained. Bob Bell, also not into the Ford Flex. Bob Bell at $15,000. At $15,000, has a Ford Flex ever received so much coverage in an auction? This is the year of COVID. $15,000 to Bob Bell. You have to just roll with it. Be flexible, ladies and gentlemen. Just like the Ford Flex. At $15,000 with Bob Bell. Any advance over $15,000. Going once. Twice. Sold to you, Bob. Congratulations for $15,000. And I know David is going to come back in and talk a little bit about the paddle raise, and then I will be here, and then I will leave. I promise. It'll be done after that.
Lydia, thank you so much, and thank you to our amazing bidders and our underbidders. To the 4 folks who won the items, congratulations. To everyone else, an auction doesn't work without underbidders, so you are part of just raising a whole boatload of money for Acadia National Park. If you didn't get in on the action, now's the time. As Lydia said, we traditionally close out our auction with what we call the paddle raise. In this case, you're not raising a paddle, you're pushing a button on your screen, but it's a chance for everyone to make a donation on the spot to support a special project in Acadia National Park. In years past, you all have helped us fund things like the Bass Harbor Light, the Seaside Path restoration. Last year it was Carriage Road bridges, land acquisition at Hadlock Pond. Amazing projects that we all have given a boost with our collective paddle raise at the end of the evening. So this year, no surprise, we're trying to rally funds to help the park meet the many and varied challenges of COVID-19. We're going to do this by creating the Acadia Resilience Fund, which is intended to be a flexible fund that can be deployed quickly and flexibly as the park identifies needs going forward. One immediate priority that we've identified together with the park has to do with making sure that school kids do not lose their connection to this national treasure during the pandemic. So typically in the fall, we've got hundreds of kids coming from all around Maine on field trips from their schools. We have a feeling that's not going to be able to happen this year. So the park is retooling, and they're asking for our help in creating what we're calling mobile ranger studios. We want to bring the park to the kids, wherever they may be, in a classroom, in a small pod, in their homes, but the park needs the tools and the technology to do it. So we had a chance to film a spot with the Chief of Interpretation at Acadia National Park, Laura Cohen. So she's going to talk for just a minute or two to tell you more about the opportunities and the needs in this regard. So let's listen in on this quick clip from Laura, and then we'll go to the live paddle race.
One of the effects of the pandemic on Acadia National Park has been a drastic reduction in visitation by school children and the general public. Acadia's ranger programs for generations have been a great way to connect everyone to the natural world and to the wonders of Acadia. Because far fewer kids are able to visit the park and take part in these programs due to the pandemic, we are retooling our programs so we can bring the park to them. So currently, we adapted our in-person programs to the age of COVID by Rangers working out of their homes on laptop computers. But we're ready to take this to the next level. One of the things that we want to do this year is to equip every Ranger with the tools that they need to connect to the American people and to students in Maine and around the world. To accomplish this, we need cameras, microphones, and mobile tablets. We also need an in-studio setup to take our programming to the next level and to give kids the undivided attention they deserve. The Mobile Ranger Studios initiative is designed to equip all of our Rangers with the equipment and training that they need to record and live broadcast programs that are conducted out in the park so that kids and the public can see these programs in real time. Not only will the Mobile Ranger Studios and equipment be useful during the pandemic, we can also use them far into the future to connect people who cannot visit to the wonders of Acadia.
So Lydia, one more update on the paddle raise, and it's an important one. It's really good news. We are trying to raise $250,000 here tonight for the Acadia Resilience Fund, and $250,000 in 5 or 10 minutes, that's a big lift. Fortunately, we have a handful of board members who have pledged ahead of time with half that amount. $125,000 has been committed, thanks in particular to the leadership of Andrew and Kate Davis, who have helped rally a handful of folks and put out a challenge grant. So if we're able to raise $125,000 here tonight in the next few minutes, it triggers another $125,000 and we hit our $250,000. Now my hope is that folks with bids large and small will rally as a group. It's always the way we end the evening. Last year I think we had over 80 people participate in the paddle race. And so let's hit that goal, let's blow through that goal, and let everyone raise their paddles or press your screens for Acadia National Park. Over to you, Lydia.
Thank you so much, David. Everyone knows that this is always my favorite part of the auction because, as David said, everybody can give. Whether or not you know this, there were 150 new people who registered to watch this event this evening. So first of all, hello. Second of all, get ready for the best part of the evening because this is the part where you just get to give to an amazing cause. And if anyone needs amazing things to happen to them this year, it's our children who have been without a lot of the services of a lot of the other people in their lives for a long time. So $125,000. You guys know the way that this works. I'm going to start high. This year we're going to go low. We will make it quick. All you need to do, again, is just press the button on your phone that says donate at the level that you would like to donate as I say it. So $125,000. Let's start at the highest level. This is a big number. $50,000. Do I have anyone who would like to start off at $50,000? Pam Morgan in at $50,000. Lynn Wheat and Tomas Petterfy also in at $50,000. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to both of our bidders at $50,000. All right, let's keep going down. Is there anyone at $25,000? And if there's no one at the level, we'll just keep going, but I'm going to ask all the way down. Is there anyone at the $25,000 level this evening? Again, David told us what this is going for. It's an amazing cause. Anyone at 25? All right, down to $10,000. Do I have $10,000 anywhere? Antoinette and Ben Brewster in at $10,000. Thank you so much at $10,000. Is there anyone else at $10,000? Evan Cooper, Spencer Fulweiler, I'm sorry if I'm saying your names incorrectly. I will meet you next year over a mojito. Another one with Lily Johnson, Jeff Sturba, that is $50,000 at the $10,000 level, ladies and gentlemen. Right there, we have already made $150,000. So give yourselves a round of applause or just drink those mojitos. Isn't that just celebration enough? All right, $10,000 goes to $5,000. Do I have $5,000? Here we go. Julia and Hans Utsch, Barbara and John Robinson, Rhett Jones, all at $5,000. That's another $15,000. That's $165,000 for the park, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone else at $5,000? All right, let's take it down. Oh, sorry, Kristen Cottrell at $5,000. Anyone else at $5,000? I brought in the cheering crowd for this one. I'm sure you guys can hear. $2,500. I don't know where they were during the auction, but I'm glad that they came now. $2,500. Anyone Anyone at home, anyone else? Bonnie, Brian came in twice at $2,500. I don't know if you did that or not, but we will definitely take that. Another $5,000 from Brian then, and Bonnie has given $2,500. Anyone else at $2,500? Down to $1,000. Anyone at $1,000? Susan Fox also in at $2,500. Lauren Vassar in at $1,000. Alexander Spalding at $1,000. David Katona, Charlotte, Michelle, Whitney, Gail Clark, Laura Katona. Sorry, these are going so quickly. Bobby Burdick, John Weston, Richard Jones, Margaret Hamner, Julie Bansoff Stone, Kate Baker Pitts, David also gave the Mercedes this evening. Thank you so much. At $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone else at $1,000? $500. We have 3 levels to go, ladies and gentlemen. $500. Jane Gray also at $1,000. Malcolm Peabody in at $500. Jeffrey Diston at $500. I feel like this is a telethon, but it's actually kind of exciting. D.A. Kirshner, Morella Gleaton, another Lydia out there. Hello. $500. Paul Westcott, David Katona, Henry Day, Jeffrey Diston. $500. Karen, Jack Keeler. Anyone else at $500? 2 levels to go. One more. Oh, one more coming in. I've been told to hold for the last 500, very dramatic. David McDonald at $500. Thank you, David. Double duty tonight, host and also a bidder. $250, and then we have 100, and then we're to any level. Arthur and Mark at $250. Thank you so much at $250. Last level, Karen Pierce at $250, Catherine Hood, Joe Marshall, Anna, Ariel, $250. Trisha Thompson. Anyone else? Greg is in at $250 as well. Charles Planting, Holly Jones, thank you all so much for this. Jacqueline, Carol, Stacy Johnston in at $250. I will take it down to $100 for our final level, and then after that you will have the ability to donate any amount you want. William, Donald, Leslie Draper, Elizabeth Williams, Christine, David, thank you so much at the $100 level. Julia, Kate, we'll take them all. Whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you for bidding. Noah, Deborah Huntington, Sheridan Steele at $100. Pamela Harrington, Mark at $100. Thank you all so much. As your bids keep coming in, we will take them. And as I said, after the $100 button closes out, we will go to any other amount. So Frank, Laura, Gerard, Mark, Elizabeth, Pamela, thank you again for the $100. Thank you to everyone who has bid this evening, and I will pass this back along to Sean. I promise this is the last you will see of me until next year. Thank you all so much. Have a good night.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much, Lydia. Incredible. That's well, I don't know if our numbers are counting exactly right, but I know it's well over $200,000. And I know that the $125,000 pledged by our board members is going to get added to that total. We're going to be over $300,000 for the park, for the Acadia Resilience Fund. And I have to say, this is getting a little emotional. It's been a long road to get here. And thank you, everyone. This is incredible. What a night for us. And in a year when, you know, there's been a lot of bad news, this is some really good news, and we really appreciate everyone stepping up for the park. So our hats off to you. Thank you so much. I'm going to bring Laura and Vassar back onto our set. They are going to attempt to give us a little bit of a running total over the last less than an hour. What do we got?
I am so impressed. In under an hour, we have raised almost $400,000 for Friends of Acadia.
Wow.
Huge. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of that. Really, really exciting. So.
Oh my gosh.
And the night's not over. One of the best things about this evening is that the silent auction is still going. So you can bid and bid generously till 8:30. That's when the silent auction ends. It's your only chance to get some of these unique items to Acadia. So please stay on and click the view items when this is all done, and keep bidding on your silent auction items. And FOA will follow up on how to pick up the items once you are the winner. I am hoping that you will bid generously so that I don't come home with multiple paintings and a few other items.
Or don't.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks again, everyone. This is a pretty much a wrap on the evening. Our shortest benefit in history, but boy, did we accomplish a lot. So from all of us at Friends of Acadia here in Bar Harbor, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciate it. And as Vassar said, we'll follow up as we need to with everyone. But thank you so much. And we are going to sign off. We'll actually see a little bit of, you get to see the set here as we wrap up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Seven minutes left. It looks like we've added it in, and so we're still a little shy. So keep going, guys. Keep pressing those bid numbers, and let's get that $10,000 match up. And here's some comments from another.